Right. Why is there no sound? Okay. Okay. Right. This is working. What have we got? This is going to be a simple laning guide phase. Laning guide phase? God damn it. Guide to the laning phase of Swain versus Kassadin. It's like I'm doing the laning phase guides. It's freaking 2:30 o'clock in the morning here. Okay, give me a break. I'm only doing this and not doing the whole game purely because the rest of the game was nothing noteworthy, and that really one was dicking around for just forever because the team didn't want to do anything. In this one, it's because their team was raging at each other and our team was freaking raging at each other. And I just got so sick of it that I don't even want to bloody remember what the hell happened past laning phase. All I remember was would be of use to people who seek an AP caster who can deal with Kassadin, and not in the sense that just survive, but absolutely cream him if you play your cards correctly. So apologies that there's not going to be any like full length videos for I don't know how long for, and just there. So before we begin, what have we got? Kassadin, melee, so you can normally use some degree of CC control over him early. Regains mana through hitting, so if you just punish him for every last hit he gets through melee, then he will run out of mana far before you do. He will then use Q to farm, which means you can afford to take less. You can take less health potions and more mana potions in order to keep up the damage on him, and because of your passive, unlike other casters, you can generally afford to keep spamming spells on him. It doesn't matter if he has a 15% magic spell reduction when you're just have I don't know how many more spells than other casters on him anyway. Oh god, there's something else I wanted to say. You have to pick pretty early on what method you're going to take to deal with him. Either you say your jungler's an absolute retard and you just deal with him by your own terms, or you let him last hit and let him be ganked. So in this situation, being solo queue, and I don't know who the jungler is, I assume he's retarded, and therefore I'm just going to deal with casting by my own terms. So I just need, or you manage to get 3 auto attacks on him and chunk off a fair amount of health. In this instance, I CS really poorly in the beginning. I'll get that out of the way before somebody notices. I thought he was going to walk up to last hit the minion, which is why I never moved it. But it turns out that he decided to queue the other minion, managed to walk out anyway. Yeah. I do pick up the CS later on. I also then sort of compensate by playing a lot better in the laning phase, and end up giving him a really hard time, like you're meant to as Swain. But if you screw this up, it will go the same way as casting of any other caster, which is you failing horribly and being well down by attrition. Most importantly is if you try this, please ward both sides to make sure that your work is not undone by him getting a kill because you got ganked because you're trying to make his life absolute hell. So every time he tries to get a hit, I would EQ him, but please don't do what I do, which is completely fail to CS, because I don't even know why. I was just haven't actually done this match in a long time. Yeah, like what the f was that about? And here I fail to EQ him. I don't even know. Okay, well, I'm looking back at this. When I'm doing this, I realized I was screwing up horribly, and here I realize I'm just looking at myself wondering, what the hell are you doing? But he realizes right now that his laning phase is not going to be a fun one, and is using his Q to last hit as opposed to trying to hit you. And he's got more CS than I do, which I am palming my face about. It's no point trying to harass him down, right, when he's just going to end up with more CS than you do. What is the point? And in a lot of cases, like here, that was poor. I managed. I EQ, sure, don't W him, and also I take a lot of minion aggro. So I'm now like wary that I move in QE Ignite auto attack range. Except I know because I'm not casting spells. He's not casting spells. He won't have E for a while. So I'm just going to take health potions. But I then screw up elsewhere, which was Hecarim were intercepted by Fiddle. I completely then expected Fiddle to keep chasing Hecarim for some reason, and so just didn't respond. I'll realize that Hecarim came back around, but like I said, in a lot of rough lanes, you'll be surprised how many people completely forego CSing in order to just make your life a misery. Because let's admit it, it's more fun when you see your opponent suffer and you just realize later on that, oh god, I actually don't have much money. So yeah, please give them the CSing. And this is the usual thing for this is the usual thing in this matchup as well, is Kassadin will probably think long term and wants tier in order so he can like use his abilities more freely later on. But like because you start with I start with a catalyst, that means I can trade harder, and it just means I'm more sustained overall, both in health, mana, and the rest of it, and you then win the war of attrition that way. And so here I am out of wards, so I don't actually want to harass him on the tower. I'm also aware that I need to go buy something before I get ganked and then die, or otherwise. But so now we can begin. Just actually, I counted this game as I will now play this and just show what I meant to do. If I can actually CS worth a damn, it will be really interesting. So in this instance, he seems to get a bit complacent and sees a CS and thinks he can just freely walk up to hit him. So I just murder him for it. Like REQ. And I honestly didn't bother using W because I just didn't expect him to be that blazing and attempt at CS. So I use it later on. And why the hell he didn't attempt to Rift Walk out of the Never Move is sort of beyond me. He did have it up, so he had used it, fine, but no, that's a lie as well. Something strange. He used that to get away. He used it defensively. Then he comes back and it's off cooldown again. Except he made a mistake, so I made him suffer for it. But the other thing of note is that the same with Galio and the same with other sort of so-called anti-mages is that they completely underestimate the amount of damage Ignite will do, and Tormented Ignite is just so much more meaty, and that just completely ruined his life. So what is this? It's pretty much he's on half health, but EE Torment will just ruin the rest of it, and I get the kill, and I honestly am pretty happy with that. So I made the move, I killed him, and the thing is, the same with TF is if you manage to get the person, if your opponent, lane opponent, is a ganking type, except then you manage to make him suffer to the point that if he goes ganking, that he won't be of any use to them beyond feeding, then that's good enough for me. The only issue is somewhere like this where he just runs away. I can't do anything about that. I have no idea whether he's just run and then waiting for me to come over and then try and get some free hits on me, whether he's just gone bot. Turns out he actually just purely went bot, and so I then spend this time to just push the lane as hard as I can. I technically, right, I could have probably saved Caitlyn, but if you noticed, he missed his E. God damn it, not if I do that, you won't. And no one told me that he used Splash either. So he misses his E, otherwise Caitlyn would have been dead here and now, and I would have been around the dragon and wasted all my time. But this is an example of what
the worst outcome is he goes ganking and you haven't been able to push the lane back in time. But in this instance, his jungler would take over. So I now ward both sides. Now I don't get any rude surprises by Fiddle. Technically, right, Fiddle's a bit of a strange one, is that he can easily hang around the side and then try to gank you. It's the same with like J4, but in this instance, I really doubted Fiddle would try anything like that, considering how they seem to be flaming each other so much to begin with. That is more of an extended harassment because people don't understand how long you can keep Raven form on for, and then as soon as you use a big move like Never, you assume you're just going to turn it off and run away. So he just comes back. I don't know why, maybe the CS, but I just EQ him and then make him suffer for it. And so I'm just keep shoving his tower and denying hits. I'm sure in another video I showed what happens when you can, well, especially with blue buff, you can keep your Raven form for long enough that you can get a second round of EQ off. Because as soon as people like see Raven form EQ, they pretty much expect that to be it, and then you'll have to back off, or else your mana reserve will completely drain and you'll die. So in this instance, I can't stop Kassadin from getting this kill. Like, where is Pony? He could have executed himself, I guess, but it was either like to Garen or to Kassadin. But on the other hand, it would make things interesting in lane, the fact that we're sort of even. Gold-wise, I think. I am on 3.3. He's actually ahead of me in gold. I did not realize that. It would have absolutely helped if I didn't CS like an absolute muppet earlier on. I see whether I could get something down at bot, considering how low they were, but I did not expect them to just sit under the tower. If I had known this, I would have just like gone in and killed them. But I expected them to do what you like saw in the other Irelia video, which is to keep running. Because staying here is absolutely boneheadedly stupid. That I just don't expect people to. That I honestly should have done. But in this instance, I had just farmed the wave. I back off because my Raven form's not up. So if he tries anything, I wouldn't win the trade outright. But this is what I mean by I recover and I end up playing a lot better. It's every time Kassadin wants to initiate his normal combo, he gives the game away by what I consider to be a pretty substantial wind-up time. Not as substantial as Thresh's maybe, but a dead giveaway. When A is assisting his tower, I was watching his model, and as soon as he does that, I turn Raven form on and then open up on him. And like once he's done this, he's completely negated your weakness of short range, and it doesn't really matter if he slowed you. It's just look at this. Like I am pretty much back to full health, and he is bleeding like crazy. It's just okay if he has blue buff and you don't, then you're stuffed. But that's the case with pretty much every single caster, where if your opponent has blue buff, they can wear you down because they're more mana than you do. It's just the way it goes. So he tried that and he is not going to be overly happy with it, because what Kassadin like seems to gimmick is he just seems to be able to be hypermobile, deliver burst in your face and wear you down, and then you can't retaliate. With Swain, it's just you can jump to me and I'll eat your face for your impudence, and he just experienced that and did not like it one bit, and he doesn't try that again really. Oh okay, he did, but he doesn't try jump. He doesn't try the normal RQE combo of Kassadin, that's for certain, because he knows he can't do anything. So I try to go. I'm going to go get blue now. That's really about it, really. It's simply don't be afraid and have good reflexes. If you have good reflexes, then you will make Kassadin suffer. What do you do with Kassadin's teleport? I honestly don't have a clue. Then probably just let him push, and then just let him get completely ganked, Because if he hasn't got flash and he's pushed before level 6, he is going to be in a world of pain. So he's not here, I push this as hard as I can, I go warding, and I didn't know whether he was going to try something else, which was to Q and then RE me. So it's why I turn Raven Form off and I hang back until I get Raven Form back again.
Shut down.
And now he has to use Rift Ward defensively, because every time we trade, I will come back out on top, and I will wear him down through attrition, and there's not a jot you can do about it. Later on, right here, I go, right, and then he tries to follow. But the problem was, you can also exploit this sometimes, which is toward this, go, pretend to go either one lane or another, and then when you see them on the ward, it's then to open up on their face. And I will probably show an example later, not later in this game, but later as in when I get an example when I do that. But generally, this is an example of how you make Kassadin's life absolute hell. So, the other thing is, if you manage to get Never Move on him, he has two choices. Either he takes the face, which people are generally never do unless they just completely fuck up, or he Rift Walks out of it. Because as long as he begins the animation, no matter even if it activates, he will still be able to jump. So I use it defensively or offensively. If you use it defensively, then he's wasted his mana. But if you use it offensively, like you see here, then again, you're forcing the situation either of which he doesn't like, which is either using mana or losing health, or both in this case. And he knows he can't do anything. So I'm just denying him last hits like crazy. Like that. So I managed to recover in CS, but I'm pretty much missing the CS I had from the beginning, which I have no idea why I was so poor. So we take the turret, and then I just leave, and it's like, well, bot lane's heavily extended, Hecarim's here, Teemo's now in mid, and everyone hates Teemo, so they're probably preoccupied trying to kill him. And he does die, but in the meantime, we kill bot. Like, I can tank this for a bit longer than normal, but I honestly couldn't care less. Especially the two of them, but she manages to get out, accept Bird for the win, and I kill her. But that will conclude this video, because everything after this just went downhill with complete and utter flame. I hope this is of use to you, especially those who wish to, like, learn Swain and his counterpicks, of which I honestly am pretty happy to see a Kassadin who thinks he'll bully me around, and then get completely surprised when the opposite happens. But like I said, yeah, closing notes are, you will probably need quick reflexes, you will need to decide whether you want to trust your jungler or not. And you just need to hold your nerve, really. Hold your nerve, kite him around, and then take your opportunity when you see it. And that's all I have to say. Have fun.